Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to be talking through my reading plans for the year of 2021. First and foremost, I'm going to say I apologize for the long absence on my channel. My work has been absolutely berserk lately. It is my busiest time of year as it is Christmas and I work in a bookstore, so it is to be expected. I have a pretty good schedule going, so I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to stay on top of it once this last little chunk of 2020 has passed us by. I'll be a bit more consistent on this channel. So this by far was my best reading year to date. I am on track to hit 160 books by the end of the year if I can just finish these last 5. It's well ahead of what I was planning to have read for the year. Sorry for the jingling. I thought this would be fun because 'tis the season. As Taylor Swift would say, 'tis the damn season. I have read and discovered a lot of great works this year. In saying that, whatever my count was at the end of the year, I would try and add 10 books on. We went through a shutdown this year, so my being on track to read 160 books, that is telling to what we went through this year. I was stuck in my apartment for 2 months. I am grateful for that because I discovered YouTube and making this type of content, which I have really enjoyed. But in saying that, I also am trying to be a bit realistic that I'm not going to read this much next year. I have a full-time job, I have animals and a partner, and hopefully I will have friends that I can go back out and see. So my life reading, though a big part of it, will shrink back down to what it should be, which is one of my hobbies, alongside seeing friends, going to the gym, and traveling a little bit. But I just wanted to take a moment to give a bit of history on my reading, what to expect going forward, because it certainly will not be the high numbers that we saw this year, but still pretty good. I am a pretty fast reader, but I do want to manage the expectations and get that out ahead of time, that in no way, shape, or form could we expect 150, 160 books next year. All of that to say that I'm really excited to go into 2021. I have a few things over here on the side that I would like to talk about, and we're just going to jump into it. So the first thing I'd like to talk about, I don't have a book to hold up because I actually have a whole stack on my TBR cards that I keep beside my bed, which is I intend to prioritize Latinx literature. As I do most years, I have a dedicated reading space to it. I try to read at least 1 or 2 a month, but I really want to prioritize and read more classic Latinx writing. This year I read by Gabriel Garcia, what's it called? 100 Years of Solitude, and it was really, really great. I would like to dedicate some time to rereading Don Quixote, reading more Alvarez, and of course reading Clap When You Land, which I have put off for a little bit because I just don't want to be done all of my Acevedo writing. So, and I think that's the last one I have to read on my TBR, and I'm sad about it because she's one of my favorite writers, and I will be sad, but it is time. I need to clear off some of that Latinx shelf that I have, and I'm very excited to do that and to prioritize people of my culture and highlight them on this channel. I want to make that a priority for the year of 2021. And now we're going to go through some of the books that I have on my TER, but I'm just really excited to delve into and that I will be prioritizing in certainly the first half of 2021. So first on the list is Keepers of the Lost City Legacy. This is book 8 in the series. Everybody knows, if you watch my channel, I love this series. It is middle grade. It is about a young girl who finds out she is a fairy. She transitions into that world and soon discovers that even for fairies, she's different for certain reasons. We are in book 8 of this series. Everyone's older, everyone's a little bit wiser, and as much as it hurts me to see everyone growing up and it's not a bunch of sweet little 12-year-old kids anymore, Samantha Shannon. Shannon Messenger has done a really great job of allowing us to grow with the characters and allowing our characters to grow in a really natural way. They're just all my babies, and I want to see this through to the end. I do believe she said there is going to be 9 or 10 books in this series. I want to say 9, but maybe it's 10. So I have book 8 here. I have book 8.5 right there, and I want to go ahead and get back on track and continue on with this series. Next on the docket, we have book 2 in The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. It is The Great Hunt. So I read book 1 this year. I enjoyed it, and I had pros and cons to it. It's certainly a work of its time, and I can very much understand the influences it took from, but I'm excited to see the story grow and become a greater influence for writers that I love, such as Sanderson. I feel pretty confident that I could at least read the next 4 books in the series this year. So I'm hoping to be at or finished book 5 by December of next year. And I feel pretty okay about that. Okay, so next I'm gonna do this big guy. Hold on. So Ursula K. Le Guin, The Books of Earthsea. So I have heard a lot about this series. It is an older series that drew a lot from fantasy that wasn't Eurocentralized, which is, as many of you are aware, a big reason I was hesitant for reading fantasy early on. So I'm really excited to give this a go and kind of read some earlier works that were not so Eurocentralized. I've heard really great things about this and how it started off as middle grade, I believe, something like that. So next on the list, I'm going to talk about City of Brass. So I have not read this trilogy. I know the 3rd one is out. I know loads of people have loved this trilogy and have had great things to say, and I'm really, really excited to finally give it a go. I am going to say I'm prioritizing this on the latter half of maybe like the 2nd quarter of 2021, just because I really want to dedicate my time and my mental space to this series. And I am in the middle of so many series right now that I'm trying to wrap them up during the new year. Certainly the first couple of months, wrap up the series that I'm in the middle of so I can go ahead and feel comfortable starting a few more new series in the year 2021. Next, we are going to talk about the First Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie. So I love morally gray characters. I love protagonists that you maybe don't get along with and don't really like. Like, I absolutely love them. And from what I understand, this is absolutely the author and the series to get into if you like that sort of thing. So I am super excited. I've got the box set. I actually bought book 1 and then the box set came in. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and maybe donate this to the library or to our local used bookstore and just work out of the wonderful box set that I treated myself to this holiday season. Last but not least, I'm gonna do these as a duo. For the year 2021, I need to finish Hero of Ages. It is book 3 in the first trilogy of the Mistlaw. Nope. It is the 3rd book in the Mistborn trilogy. Very excited for it. I am trying to prioritize this to read this before December ends, but realistically, I have faith in myself, but do I have that much faith? Because I also have 4 other books I'm currently trying to finish before the new year. So like I should maybe stop filming and start reading, but neither here nor there. If I do not finish, I need to finish this within the first couple of weeks of January. I have been loving the Mistborn series. It's everything and more that everyone has promised me here on BookTube, so I just need to get through it and prioritize some Sanderson. Next, I'm a little surprised this is on here and not in my favorites for 2021. So I don't know what happened. I love the Stormlight Archive series. I'm currently in the middle of rereading the series. I'm listening to Words of Radiance via audiobook and really enjoying it. I got this one, here's the thing. So my pre-order came in late because I pre-ordered the signed edition, and from that I started something else and wound up really enjoying it. I think I started The Bone Shard Daughter, really loved it, became one of my favorite reads that month, and it just got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. The Burning God came in 2 days before this one, so of course I started that one right away, and just by the time this came in, and she's beautiful and I'm so excited to read her, I just didn't want it to feel rushed or felt like I needed to read this in time to not be spoiled or not, or just so I could get the content out there. I wanted to take my time and enjoy this. Sanderson, though he writes fast for some of us who have had to wait a long time for series continuations, realistically, he doesn't write so fast that if I put this off for a couple of months and take my time with my reread and enjoy the Stormlight archives and really throw myself back into the world, I'm not missing out. I can take my time and I can enjoy it, and I am planning to read this on my vacation after the Christmas season once my work has died down a little. I am taking a full week off. I'm going to dedicate it to enjoying this reread and just throwing myself back into this world. But it was a hard decision to come to because I love reading and I love this series, but I wanted to give it the time and the dedication and the mental space that it deserved. And realistically, the holiday season is just not it for me. It is my busiest time of the year, and where a lot of people get time off, it is where I am coming home absolutely just shattered from my day. So I am prioritizing this for 2021. It is my big book that I'm looking forward to reading for the new year, and I'm so excited when I get to sink my teeth into it. I'm just as surprised as all of you that it hasn't been read yet, but it is what it is, and I am so looking forward to reading it in the upcoming months. So that is all I have for you today. That's just about everything that I have currently sitting on my TBR that I will heavily be prioritizing in the new year. Thank you so much for watching, and I would love to hear what your reading plans are for 2021. I'm trying this new thing where I'm not actually going to set a numeric goal for myself. I'm going to be more interested in conceptual goals like prioritizing Latinx authors, continuing supporting POC authors, and delving more into the fantasy genre that I discovered this year. I would love to hear some of your reading goals, and for now I will say adieu and have yourself a great week and or weekend. And Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.